Welcome to today's 15 at 15. My name is Philip Charlson. I am a Senior Solutions Specialist here with the Gray Tech Group. Thank you for joining me today for this exciting session here. We're going to be talking about Revit material management along with Ideate. So in this session, what we're going to be looking at is looking at cleaning up your materials a bit within Revit. You probably noticed in the past, it's kind of hard to get rid of materials out of a project and out of families. There's a little bit of work involved with it. So we're going to take a look at some easier ways to get that cleaned up. So if you do have any questions throughout the session, you can put them into the chat and we'll be happy to assist. So just a quick look at my, history. You can see that I've been in the industry for about 27 years, 22 plus years as an instructor. Going on my third year here at Gray Tech. I am a platinum certified instructor and working on becoming a evaluator for the instructor program as well. Over the years, I've worked with Revit since early 2002, so we're coming up on just about 22 years now of utilizing Revit. So I do work with the architecture and the MEP side of things. So again, today we're looking at specifically the Ideate StyleManager and the tools within it. So with the Ideate StyleManager, we basically can take a look inside the project or inside a family, and we can minimize some of the components that we may have within there, some of the different styles within it, and we can group them together. We can also be able to change information within there. So different items, line styles, materials that we're going to be looking at today, fill patterns. So those are some of the typical things that we can take a look at. So why do we want to use the Ideate StyleManager? Well, it keeps your Revit projects, your templates, families clean of really the unused type items that it gets cluttered with all that extra stuff that you're not really using within projects, or in some cases you may be doubling or tripling it up just by copies of different components that you have within your project. So this is just a really good way to kind of clean up that project, and I really push to utilize it first off within a template. If you can hit it kind of head on, it'll kind of help you in the project setting as well. All right, so as I mentioned, we're going to take a look at the Revit material management. On the screen here, I've got basically two different looks here. We got the out of the box where we've got the purge unused option. And when you click on that, obviously it gives you a bunch of stuff within there. A lot of times you have to kind of go through it and it's like, well, do I need that? Do I not need that? Do I check it, uncheck it? Typically when I go to purge unused, I do a check none because I don't want to accidentally remove something that I'm going to keep. But you can see here I've got the materials listed, and this is really a short list. In this case, sometimes you can have hundreds of materials that are not being used within a project. So right now, this is a very short list. Now over here, we've got the Style Manager where we can click on the materials. We also have the material appearance assets that we can look at both kind of instances. The assets are kind of the components that go into the materials. But within the materials, it can list out really all the materials that you have within your project. And we can figure out, okay, how many times are we using them? Do we have duplicate instances of those? how can we go in and correct those? We also have some other options within there to be able to show not used items or used items so that we can either shorten up that list or kind of see everything within that list at once. All right, so we're going to jump into a little demonstration here, and I have a recording here, and the reason we do a recording is that there are some things that, you know, it's actually doing some analyzing, so kind of want to shorten up that time here. So first off, we're going to take a look at, again, really what the out-of-the-box Revit does. So we're looking at the purge unused, and as I mentioned, we can, you know, go down to the materials, which is in the other styles area, and we can see all the items that technically are not being used within the project here. So we can easily go in and, you know, remove those out of there. That's easy, but doesn't really tell the whole story of what's happening within there. So next we're going to open up the Style Manager, and you can see that we have, again, the materials, and we have material appearance assets. If I click on materials, you can see that it's going to list all of them, but we can choose, you know, which ones are not being used, which ones are being used to shorten up the list. So right now we've got all of them listed within here. You'll notice that there's a question mark on the left side. So basically you have to analyze it so it looks at the project and finds all of those instances of where that material is being used at. So it's going to list that off onto the right side, and you'll be able to see how those particular items are being used. Now, when you have items that are close together, like what I'm selecting here, we're kind of choosing all of them. This is kind of my speed up process here. But like if you have wood as an example, sometimes you may want to find, okay, do I have the same type, you know, created here 4 different times? Are they all different? Are they all similar? So what we can potentially do is we can actually click on each individual one, and we can look at the style info over on the right hand side. So it'll give us, you know, the naming, color, surface pattern, pattern type, cut pattern. So we can see if there are some similarities between there, if we can kind of cut the or group them together. We also have the option, and you'll see it within materials, where you have the color coding that have the same information related to it. So if you had 2 exact same wood types, we would actually see the wood types as a colored pattern within here. So we could actually group those together because the Style Manager is telling us, hey, those are exact duplicates. You can go in and merge those 2 together. So just running through a quick process here. So you can see here with this one, I grouped a style together, and it basically updates our total number of instances that it's been placed. Now, when I go to the material assets, again, this is working with the materials. These are kind of the components that comprise the materials. If you've ever looked at the materials tool within Revit, you can see the material assets within there, and we can go in and group those if needed. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at a family. So I've built a lot of families over the years within Revit, and I've always noticed that when you try to purge out the information, you can see here we got one item that's not being used. Okay, so we could actually go in and remove that. Now, if we go to the Style Manager, we're going to see something a little bit different here. You can see, oh, we've got a lot of materials within this family. And when you notice here, there's a lot of materials that are not being used. So I couldn't tell you why it's not showing up within the purge, but you can see here, it's kind of giving us more of an accurate portrayal of what is not being used, and we can shrink down that list quite a bit to only the materials that are being used within the family. So This is kind of a good cleanup operation for families that you have, especially if you've gone in and downloaded stuff from manufacturers. You may want to kind of double check and see, did they just kind of leave a whole bunch of junk materials within those families? Might be a good idea to kind of clean those out. They'll probably shrink up those families a bit, make your project size a little bit smaller as well. So kind of a handy tool for both the families and for your project type instances. All right. So just a little bit of a recap here. So some quick tips on using the Style Manager in relation to materials. So when you pop into it, you typically want to select all the materials, kind of see where you're at, and run the analyze, the analyze button at the bottom. It may take a minute or two, depending on how many materials that you have, but it's kind of good to see, where are we currently at with these materials? Are there a lot of things that could be combined into one to kind of shrink wrap the list that we have within there? We want to use the merge option to group like materials. As I mentioned, what you want to typically look at is the color. It'll kind of highlight it different colors based on the duplicate options that you have. So if you select on two that are the same, you can merge those and you can select which naming convention that you want within there. Another thing that you can do that's really nice is to be able to rename materials. So within this list here, we can actually right click and rename the materials directly within this dialog. So you don't have to go out to your materials tool in Revit and go in and change them. You can do it within the Style Manager instead. So I would almost suggest doing something like that within your template if you do want to have some certain naming conventions for your materials for your template and for your projects. And again, look for those duplicates. I'm guessing if you pop into it, you will definitely find some duplicates within that list. Again, look for the colors and merge them together. All right. So with that, if you have any questions, make sure you enter that into the chat. You can also contact support at ideatesoftware.com. There will be a survey for everyone that had attended today. Appreciate you filling that information out. Make sure you ask for any particular tools that you're looking for additional information on that we can add to our 15 at 15 series. If you missed some of our other ones, make sure you go back and look on YouTube and look for the 15 at 15 recordings. In fact, you could actually probably save Ideate Software and Graytech as favorites. So you can always be jumping right to our sessions that we had, but we love it when you're coming live to our sessions. And that wraps it up for today.